So hello everyone. Thanks for tuning in this Sunday morning. Hope this session will be great for you. It will be helpful in you as well. So before getting started into the session, I just wanted to give a brief intro on AWS using Madurai and few initiatives which we run. So we run a number of initiatives. One of the main initiative is College Champs. So it is similar to Cloud Club program. So where we have number of colleges onboarded and we'll be helping them in conducting the events and sessions for them. Next one is Creators Club. So this is a place where you can share your learnings, like it can be blog, video, any content that you create, and this will be like based on monthly event. So there is a form to submit your submission. So based on your submission, we have a category. So based on each submission, we will be awarding points to that, and there is a leaderboard that which we maintain. So at the end of each month, the top members will be getting something from us. So it can be like a T-shirt or a AWS credit and something. So you can go through this website to get more idea on what type of content that you can submit here and how much points you can earn for that and what can you use it to redeem for. So next one is like builders skill sprint. So this is an initiative which we started a month back. So this will be like a monthly event. It will be focused on a theme specific. So it is open to all student, working professional, whether you are beginner or advanced. So this sprint is for everyone. So we'll be hosting like one or two virtual sessions, like in Zoho Meet, which we are conducting now. So it will be live. And after the session, we'll be hosting a hands-on challenge throughout the month, and it will be open. So you can attend the session, complete the challenge, and you can submit it in the Creators Club, and you can just earn points. So after a week, this session will be uploaded in YouTube, so you can watch it there. So for all sessions, attendance will also include some points. So attending will also earn you some points, which you can use it for later. So going forward, let me introduce DIPALI. So she's an AWS hero, and she has more than 15 years of experience in this field. So over to you, DIPALI.
Thanks, Bubulan. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well and not cribbing me to attend this session on Sunday morning. But I believe it will be a good learning experience for each one of you. Okay, little bit introduction about me. So as Bubulan has already given a glimpse that yes, I'm working in data and analytics space from last 20 years now. And I'm also recognized as AWS Hino, and I'm currently working as Vice President with Press Group. And currently I'm taking care of a platform where we build data lakes. And we'll talk about it in this session, that exactly what do we mean by data lakes and where data engineer fits in. And in AWS space, I have done few certifications as listed here. The recent one is this AI practitioner. And before that, I have gone through solution architect professional associate and started my journey with cloud practitioner. I have,
yeah. Are you seeing your screen?
Okay, it is still not visible. Yeah. Give me a moment.
Can you do it again?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, now it's.
So you can see it now, right?
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, it is visible, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So yes, so I was highlighting these badges, and when I was talking about that, exactly what all certification I hold in AWS space. Then I also have created few courses on LinkedIn Learning, and these courses are around DevOps, data engineering with AWS, and generative AI with Bedrock, and also created a course around Certified DevOps Engineering Professional Certification exam. And the latest one which I have created, it is on building and securing data lakes in AWS, and it is not live on LinkedIn, and it should be available in 3 to 4 weeks time. So this is where, and this is the QR where you can just scan it and then you can get links of these specific courses on LinkedIn Learning. So today we are going to discuss about data engineering with AWS. But before we really start on this topic, I want to just understand that what kind of audience we have got. So Pubulan, can we get any raise of hands or maybe any poll that how many newbies are there and how many people we have who already are working on AWS and familiar with AWS ecosystem?
Yeah, I'm creating a poll.
There is an option of like raising hands as well. So I think that would be quick.
Yeah, people can raise hands as well.
So folks, please do raise your hands if you are starting your journey with AWS and fairly new to this ecosystem and to this user group. Great, poll is also here. Maybe last 10 seconds to see the poll responses.
Yeah.
And Pubulan, should I stop share so you can display the poll responses? Okay, it is already there. Perfect. So we have 58% beginners, 37% intermediate, and few, I think just one advanced level user as well. Perfect. So we have got a great mix of beginner and intermediate. So I believe, yes, whosoever is beginner, definitely a lot of things are new to learn for learning. But yes, if you are at intermediate level, then if you have not used specifically like data engineering services on AWS, so you should find this session useful in this journey. All right, so going back onto my slides. So what do we mean by data engineering? So nowadays you must have heard that slogan or that saying that data is the new fuel. So nowadays we are hearing a lot of AI, Gen AI. So, but data is at the core. So we can build some great artificial intelligence applications if we have the relevant data in place. Today, we are going to see that how we can the raw data which we have available from different sources, how we can process that, how we can turn it into the meaningful information which can be used by, let's say, our data scientists or our end users. So that is the goal of today, and we want to see, we want to learn and build all this using AWS services today. So when we talk about data engineering, so core of this is lying into this engineering keyword. So first of all, let's understand who is a data engineer, what this data engineer, these data engineers generally do. So in general, if we just talk about this English word engineering, so what these engineers do, they design and build something. And when we talk about data engineer, they design and build data pipelines. So as I just touched upon that, they take the data from different sources. It can be like n number of sources here. So they take the data from these disparate sources and put it into a single storage. It can be a data warehouse, it can be a data lake, and they like transform this data into a form so it can make some sense to the end users. And it can be like any users, or it can be your data scientists who are working on your machine learning applications. So in nutshell, this is the role of data engineers. I know it sounds very simple when we explain it like this, but yes, a lot of skills are needed when we try to turn data from the raw format to the usable format. And that's where this data engineering roles comes into the play. So data is growing at enormous speed. And as we can see in last couple of years, it has grown exponentially, starting like 2010 till like, and this is like pretty old diagram. So in these last couple of years, data has grown exponentially. And statistics says that 90% of this data has been generated in last 2 years itself. And on every day, we are generating 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. So try to imagine, try to recall your like childhood days, the way we used to do things like 15, 20 years back. So somewhere back in 2005 or 7, people used to hardly carry, not everyone used to carry the mobile phones. Now we take it for granted that everyone must be having mobile phone and a laptop. And though, like honestly, if we like take the average, 50-60% people have even more than 2 devices. So data is getting generated all the time. We are using like various throughout the day, whatever like things we are using, whether it is like LinkedIn, Netflix, Facebook, Instagram. So even the kids, whatever they are using, they are generating some data. And even when we are sleeping, we are generating data with the like, let's say smart watches and all. So yes, we are using a lot of devices when like they are in actions, even if we are sleeping. So data is getting generated all the time. So try to imagine what will be the situation in few years from now. There will be lot of data, but what to do with this data? We need to like analyze this data into a form. So yes, it can be more useful. It can do some predictive analysis. It can be useful to define the business strategies. It can help business grow faster than ever, right? So we need to make some intelligent uses of this data, and that's where these data engineer, and then on top of that machine learning engineers, these roles are getting popular. And more organizations are demanding these kind of skills. As like data is everywhere, so in last couple of years, many organizations have been like formed, or they have like created new services. The existing organization, they have created new services. Otherwise, many more organizations are created just to do some work on this data. And that's where we have like heard a lot of such roles are in demand from last few years now. And this demand will continue for next 10 years as per Gartner's prediction, that there will be a lot of demand for data engineers, machine learning engineers, and AI applications, Gen AI applications for next 10 years. So when we try to understand the data engineering landscape, so first of all, as we discussed, the evolving needs, because there is continuously increasing demand of data, whether it is like batch processing or it is real-time processing. And we need to understand that how to deal with complex data, because so far we have learned like dealing with structured data, semi-structured data, but nowadays it's a lot of unstructured data. Nowadays we are dealing with like videos, reels all the time. So it is like unstructured data all the time. And then we need to learn to build scalable solution. We also need to do all this data things with proper governance in place, because if data is leaked, if data is not used properly, there are a huge fines, especially if you are into like fintech sector, if you are into like into banking, insurance, where data is sensitive. So there are huge fines. So we need to understand the governance part as well. And then, yes, we obviously need to have the seamless integration with various analytics tools. So yes, everyone can use this data into a desired format. And why we picked AWS for this data and data engineering? Because of like core AWS features and function, because AWS has proven reliability. AWS is into the market from around 20 years now. So it is trusted. It is a trusted cloud. It gives us scalability. It is globally available, and it has given us comprehensive tools. There are a lot of service. It is like an ocean which gives you breadth and depth on the services. So whatever solution you imagine, 99% you can build it on AWS. So that's where AWS is the preferred choice when we are building these applications onto the cloud. Okay, so today, so when we talk about this data engineering landscape, the key services which used here. So if you try to imagine from the where data is stored. So data can be stored into your databases, data can be stored into your data warehouses, and data can be stored into your data lakes. So you need some storage service, and on that storage service, then you do some cataloging. For cataloging, we do use AWS Glue. And then Redshift is a service where you can do some advanced level of warehousing. Then you can create data pipelines. So in AWS, there is a variety of service even to implement data engineering. So this is one set of services, and we will be touching on few more services today. And then we have lake formation, which is primarily to implement the governance part of it, that how you can control the fine-grained access onto your data. And then if we need to deal with streaming data, real-time data, then Kinesis is the service which can be used. So there's a variety of service available, and each service has its unique purpose, which we try to build in this data landscape. So today, the use case which I have picked. So what we are going to do, that we will be ingesting data into a data lake, and then we will be doing some cataloging onto this data. So because when raw data is there, then how to really visualize it? By cataloging, we mean that we are creating metadata, that exactly what is the structure of data. So if we are coming from relational database background, so simply you can relate that, okay, which database, which table, what different attributes are there into that table, what are different data types of that table. So those kind of things we do under data cataloging. And then we will do some we will understand that how to implement governance onto this data, onto this catalog. And then we will try to see that how we can access and transform this data as per business needs. Is there any question? Not, I will request you to please go on to mute. Thank you. So yes, so now before I proceed further, I would like to understand from you guys that when we say data lake, what is your understanding that what can be a data lake? Any thoughts around that? I just switched on to this Zoho screen so I can see if there are any raised hands, if anyone is sharing. And please try to keep this session interactive. It should not be like that I'm talking to walls. I can see a raised hand from Srinath. Please, yeah, you're already unmuted. Yes, please share your thoughts. Exactly what do we mean by a data lake? And possibly how it is different from a data warehouse.
lakehouse may be kind of storing a small data where data warehousing stores large amount of data.
Okay. Anyone else would like to add onto this? Please keep on sharing your views so that I have fair idea, so I can understand that exactly what is your understanding, and accordingly to that depth I can keep on sharing the information. Otherwise I will just talk for let's say next 1 or 2 hours, and you might not get even 10% of it. Yes, please. AURCM, I don't know what that name is. Go ahead, please tell me your name and then, yes, share your understanding. DDAURCM.
Yes, ma'am. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are. What's your name, please?
Data. Dharani Dharan.
Possibly that was too fast for me. I couldn't catch that.
Yeah, G is fine, ma'am. Okay. According to me, data lake is the thing in which unstructured data is stored, and in data warehouse, data are structured and organized in a way so that it will be easily retrieved for later purposes.
Okay, I think I just got a part of it. But yes, I understood, like you tried to explain data warehouse, but I didn't get that how different it is, what is the key difference between data warehouse and a data lake?
Structured and unstructured data, ma'am.
Right. Yes. Yes, Shaikh, you want to add something?
So a data warehouse where we store a large number of data, where it is a raw form, it is maybe a structured, unstructured. Data lake where we store like the data in a chunk of like pieces. That is my understanding.
Okay, fair enough. So all of you are partially correct. And so let me just reiterate what all you have said with the maybe the specific key bits around this data warehouse and data lakes. So first of
DIPALI, in chat also there is 2 people responded in chat. If you
okay. Both data lake and data warehouse are storage medium. Data lake store data in native format, and data warehouse will be stored after processed. Data lake stores data from single source, and warehouse stores data from multiple source. All right. Okay. So if we quickly summarize, so data warehouse, when we say, so data warehouse are generally, they store like your relational data, I would say. So most of the data warehouse, they are built to cater your relational database. And when we say relational database, means you have some structure, you have a fixed structure. Let's say you have a table employee, and in your employee table, let's say you have 10 columns. So first of all, whatever data you will ingest into your table, you need to ensure the format that, okay, your incoming data should be having those 10 columns. Only then it can be ingested into your data warehouse. So data warehouses generally work on this fixed format of data. So they worked on the structured data. And when we talk about data lakes, so because nowadays, let's say we are dealing with a lot of social media platforms, and so we are dealing with a lot of unstructured data. We don't know, because at times we try to we try to ingest a video, at times we try to ingest some reels, clips, and those can be having different formats, right? So, and every time we might be having different number of attributes. So the scenarios where we don't have fixed number of attributes, scenarios where we don't have like fixed format of data coming in, so that is labeled as unstructured data. So nowadays, most of the systems, most of the time, we need to deal with the unstructured data. And that's where data lakes become more useful, more popular, because data lakes gives us flexibility to even ingest the unstructured data. And another key difference is that in case of data warehouse, we normally deal with the batch data. It doesn't work well with the real-time data. While in case of data lake, you can either deal with your batch data or you can deal with your real-time data. So like try to imagine like me scenarios. Okay, before I tell you, you tell me any scenario where it is useful for us that we should be storing real-time data.
User interactions in social media
Can you say
platforms.
again?
User interactions or user behavior in social media platforms.
Okay, so let's say I saw one post on social media and I reacted on this. I like this this post. So why it is really crucial that my response, my reaction should be captured in real time. Free to share any other example where you see where you think that yes, maybe real-time capturing of data is useful in this scenario. Because in social media posts, even if let's say if I reacted and I'm dealing with I want to see that okay, who all have liked, how many people have liked my post. If I am seeing that let's say after 1 hour or even after 1 day, it is not really making much difference. And if we try to think from a business standpoint, like I'm not sure that exactly how we can like use these real-time reactions into a into monetary terms. So to me, it is not very crucial. It might not be the best example for real time. Yes, near real time or like batch might be good enough for this one. So I would like to hear, I want you guys to think more and share something where you think real-time capturing of data can really make some difference. Otherwise, it might have been some disaster.
Tools like Uber use real-time data.
Sorry?
Uber and Zomato, like these tools use real-time data.
Yes, that's a perfect example. Because here we need to capture the real-time data. Otherwise, they will not be able to serve their customers. So these are the companies who are actually built and working well after these concepts came in. Because otherwise, if we like imagine that 15 years old story, we never imagined the way we this is how we will be operating in future, that the way we order food nowadays, the way we order cabs, we take online classes, and we take medical consultations on like real time. So we didn't imagine all these things. So all these things have been emerged after we got the tools and the techniques where we are generating a lot of data and we are like making some meaningful information out of it. So Zomato is one example, and other like businesses in the same line. These are the examples. So these are the new kind of businesses came in last couple of years. Other examples can be if we try to think from the banking industry perspective. Let's say if some transaction has been done into your account and it is a fraudulent transaction. So if you didn't capture that data in real time, so you cannot take any actions in real time. So what will happen that okay, fraud has already happened. You can do like later you can investigate and get this done. But nowadays, this banking industry, they are investing a lot of money in preventing this fraud. That okay, the moment transaction is happening, before it is getting materialized, they are like performing checks onto that data by capturing your real-time transaction status. So if they are suspecting that it can be a fraud transaction, they are putting it on hold. So this is another example. From real life, we can take another scenario, the kind of cameras and all which are installed on the road. So let's say these cameras are capturing real-time informations, and so police is getting information in real time if something wrong is on the road, some road rage, some accident, or some violence. If those kind of things are happened, so police is getting those alerts in real time, and they can be reached there onto that location in a few minutes. So these are like couple of examples which we see on day-to-day basis in our real life. But yes, there are a lot many other scenarios. There are a lot many other cases where like companies are building really innovative applications, and they are coming up with some innovative ideas, and they are making our life even more simpler and like more meaningful. So real-time data has its own essence, and it is very crucial nowadays to work with the real-time data as well, though like dealing with batch data is also equally important, because not everything need to be handled in the real time. There are lots of cases, 95% cases, where you deal with the batch data. So both data has its own own importance. But yes, data lakes have given us this yeah.
Deepali, sorry to interrupt. I think your slide is not visible. You are in
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, so both, like currently we do see the usage of batch data as well as real-time data, and also there is a term called near real-time data. So where you don't because everything, the kind of infrastructure you are building in to process your data, everything comes with a cost. So you might not need it. That, for example, the social media example which you took, so we might not need to deal with the real time, because when we are trying to process that data in a real time, we might need to invest more into the hardware we need. So possibly we can deal with that near real time data. So these are the three key terms which keep on seeing in terms of latency, that either we are dealing with real time, near real time, or the batch data. So this is where this data access and transformation comes into the play. So what we are building today, we are dealing with this, that we are like building a data lake, then we are doing some cataloging, implementing some governance, and trying to access and transform. And this is a very high level, very high level diagram of it, that when we say data lake, so in AWS, data lake is nothing, is your one single S3 bucket. So in the S3 bucket, you can ingest all kind of your data, whether it is your batch data or it is your real-time data, and you keep your data into the same bucket into different folders. So you can keep your raw data here, you can keep your process data here. So data lake is essentially just a S3 bucket in AWS ecosystem. So this is the uniform storage. And then when we ingest data into this data lake, we will enable lake formation of onto this, and lake formation is the service which help us implement governance on this data. And then we will try to access this data using different tools, that we will try to access this data using Amazon Athena. We will write some glue ETL job, and then we will like try to access this data using that glue ETL. So this is where the way we can build data pipelines onto it, means this raw data is undergoing some transformation, and then you are accessing your transform data via glue ETL. And if you are dealing with more complex logic, you can even write your like Python script, PySpark application, which generally runs onto the EMR. So these are the things which we will try to build in this session today. And by the way, anyone knows that how we can like create these kind of architecture diagrams? No. All right. And okay, any idea like how, when I say that we are going to use this lake formation for data governance, means data access and controls. So any idea which is the which is the most like primary service in AWS ecosystem where we like try to deal with these access and permissions?
IAM.
IAM, rightly said. So IAM is identity and access management. So that is the foundational service in AWS through which like we can define that who can access what and in what capacity. But in terms of data, there is another service on top of this, which is known as lake formation. So any idea what extra features this lake formation provides here? Okay, so how it generally works in case of IAM, let's say I have this S3, or let's say I have some database, let's say employee database. Under employee database, I have a table named employee, and I want that the employee of IT department should be able to access this employee table. Okay, but I don't want to give that access to the employees which are part of sales department. So only one department employees can get access onto this employee table. So that is something, yes, I can implement with IAM. That in IAM, I can define my policy that employees where department equals to IT, and I can grant them access onto this employee table. But now, let's say this employee table has some sensitive information, because employee table, let's say it has the salary information of the employees. And we don't want to expose, because that is the sensitive information, we don't want to expose that information even to this employees in the IT department. Because IT department employees, they are building some system, they need the structure, they need to access this data, but they should not be seeing this salary column of it. So this is known as the fine-grained access, that when we want to provide access on certain rows and on certain columns, means when we like try to give these permission in a slice and diced manner, so these cannot be handled via IAM. So to grant this fine-grained access, this lake formation comes into the picture. It lets us extend these permission in a fine-grained way, that yes, we can expose any set of rows or we can expose any set of columns using lake formation. And that's where whenever we are dealing with data, so normally this is the service which is being used to deal with the access and permissions. Okay. And now if I come back onto that diagram, so just to give you a quick idea, because that is something I have included in your assignment also, because we want to see that exactly how much this session was useful for you. And we want you to build something similar as part of your assignment. So how to build these diagrams? So there is a website, or there is an application, you may call it draw.io. So there are a lot of applications of this kind, but yes, I have used draw.io here. So under draw.io, so you can create new diagrams. And if you go to blank diagram, and you may name it something, demo, let's say. And this is where you can build your diagrams. And it has like included the AWS tools and services here. So let's say, first of all, the way I did that, first of all, I picturized that, okay, there is like AWS account, first of all, because we might be creating a diagram where we are dealing with multiple AWS account, multi-account strategy, right? So we can like create different boxes. So we are showcasing it that way, that okay, in first account, these are the things happening, while, and this is how it is connecting with the second account. So AWS account is one thing. And then under account, like you can even create the region box, because in one AWS account, there are like multiple regions. this is the box for AWS region. So you can place it according to your like workflow. And then let's say I want to reflect the S3 bucket. So I can simply search the S3 icon here and then S3. And let's say if I want Redshift here possibly, then you will see the icons for Redshift. And then using these arrows and connectors, let's say I want to use connector here. So here you will see icon for most of the services available in AWS. Okay, and using these connectors and all, you can reflect your data flow. So this is how you can create your diagram. And after you are done with your design, then you can either export it as PNG or PDF, whatever. So you can either export it and you can also save it as XML. So you can further add it into this one. Okay. So this is how you can create your architecture diagram. Just a like quick view onto that. Okay. So now let's go on to this AWS account now and let's try to build whatever we have just seen. Happy to take any questions if you have meanwhile. So I'm logging into my AWS account with IAM user. And if I go back to this, so first of all, I would be creating this data lake. Okay. And yes, I have also like kind of drafted these steps onto Medium, and it's a really very raw draft, I would say. Not this one. Sorry, I have clicked on. So whatever we are building today, I kind of draft it here so that you can refer it later, though it is not a very refined draft. I mean, there is no formatting, etc. It's just a very like simply whenever I was like, I was like creating these things and just like copying, pasting here. So you guys can refer it later. So first of all, we are doing this data lake setup here. And for data lake setup, let me see if I have. Okay. So first of all, I'm saying for this data lake setup, we need to add current role as lake formation administrator. So let's go on to this one. For this data lake, whenever we are dealing with data lake and lake formation service here, so it asks us that yes, we should be defining the data lake administrator, and this administrator should be different your like root admin account actually. So here, if I simply go to this lake formation service, here we are simply saying that as an admin, we are creating our data lake. Okay. And who is the admin here? The user through which I have logged in, that is this admin user. So in lake formation service, if we see under administration section and administrative roles and tasks, this is where we need to add this admin user as a data lake administrator. So simply click on add and then look for IAM users and roles. So this is my user, admin user, through which I have logged in and through which I want to define my data lake. Okay. Then confirm. This is the very first step that we have defined this current user as a data lake admin user. Now we need to really set up the data lake. And when we say data lake, it's nothing but a S3 bucket which we are going to create. So this is going to be our central storage for any data. And make sure that you are building all these things into the same region. It can be any region. Currently, I'm into Northern Virginia region, so I'll stick onto that. Okay. And by the way, so how does it make difference if I'm building in Northern Virginia or maybe Asia Pacific? How these region things makes difference, how you should be choosing it. Any thoughts?
Based on the nearby location, we need to choose the server.
Nearby location of whom? Yours?
Based on the client engagement, basically.
Exactly. So though like currently when we are sitting in India, so we could have choose Asia Pacific, but let's imagine we are creating this application for a population who are based in US. Then this Northern Virginia region makes sense. So you need to pick the region which is nearest to your user base. Here I'm creating this bucket with this name, Data Engineering Demo MDU Madurai. Okay, so this is the name I have picked, but you must be knowing that there can be unique names in S3. So if I create bucket with this name, if it is available, you cannot create the bucket with the same name. So please alter it as you want. Okay, so I'm simply saying create bucket. Data engineering demo MGU. Let's see if I can get that. And I'm just creating it with the default settings, not changing anything. Yes, we got that. So this bucket is now created. After we have created this bucket, I'm creating a folder structure here. So why folder structure is important in case of data lake? Because here, so let's say here the very first folder I have created processed. So in your data lake, you can even store your raw data. You can even store your transform data, which is processed data in my case. So if you are like creating raw data, so at the same level, you can create a folder raw, and under raw, you can like create further folders, subfolders that, okay, this is the data coming from, let's say, my database one, this is coming from my data warehouse. So various data sources or systems names you can define. So you can create subfolders accordingly. So here I'm just keeping it very simple, that I'm simply creating a processed folder. Under process folders, I'm going to create this products DB folder, and under products DB, I'm going to create this products folder. So this products DB folder actually represents the database. So logically, I'm mapping it with my database, that under products database, I have table name products. I may have another table under products database, which is, let's say, products description. So at the same level, I can create another folder, product description. So here I'm simply trying to like create that container, that in this container, products DB, I have multiple tables, and my products table, it can have like daily files. So under this folder, I can upload multiple files which whose data will be available into the products table. So this folder structure is like, it is not a hard and fast rule that you should follow this this practice, but yes, it is the best practice. So this is how you should be organizing your data into the data lake. So here I am creating a folder just to give you the idea. So let's say here I have created the raw folder, maybe raw data. And at the same level, raw data is available at the root. Now at the same level, I'm creating a folder, let's say process data. So under raw, I can create subfolders, whatever, let's say I'm getting some batch data from different system, if I'm getting the real-time data, so I can create the like subfolder structure here and create those folders. In this example which I have taken, so I'm creating a folder under process data, that I'm dealing with the process data. So here I'm creating a folder which is representing my database location, that is products DB. So I'll map this location with my database. Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I think your screen is froze. It's struck or something.
Not able to see.
We are seeing the screen, but we are not seeing you creating the objects and creating the folder structure.
Okay, let me stop share and try to share it one
Can
more
you
time.
reshare?
Okay. Are you able to see S3 screen now?
You are in the Meet screen now. Yeah, now I can see it.
Okay, so what I was doing so far, after I created this bucket, here at root level, I created two folders. One, I created raw data and I created this process folder. And I was explaining that if you are ingesting data from different source systems, so under raw data, you can create subfolders and you can like store data from different systems, whether it is batch data or real-time data. So you can create a folder structure here. And after you are really processing that data and you are, so raw data after you have processed, you can save the process data under the same bucket, means under your same data lake under process folder. So under process folder, I'm trying to create a folder structure where it is mapping to my catalog. When I say catalog, means it is mapping to, it is mapping with my database and tables. So here I have created this folder products DB, and I'm like logically mapping it with my database. And under this database, I can have multiple tables. So I'm creating a folder here, products, which is pointing to my products table. However, at the same level, I can have even more tables under the same database. And under products table, I can have any number of data files which can be pointing to the products table itself. So here I'm uploading a CSV file. I had something here. So I'm looking for a CSV file. The Qt. This products.csv I'm uploading under this folder products. Okay, so this is how data ingestion can be done, that either you can upload data from your local machine, but in ideal way, you will be really ingesting this data from different systems. So you will be writing a script which can actually transform data here, right? And then next step comes as a cataloging of this one. So here, if you just quickly see these steps, that under data lake setup, what we are doing, we have created, we have like registered the current role as current user as lake formation admin. Then we created a bucket. Then we created a folder structure, uploaded the data file here. And now we will actually create the database and table, which is known as cataloging. And where we can do cataloging in AWS? Not going to create unless you tell me. This is the service where we can catalog our data.
There is a in data catalog.
It's a glue. And if we try to refer our slides, I think somewhere I mentioned. So this is the service. So, okay, so basically glue is the service where we do the cataloging. So this is something for us to remember. Okay, so let's say if we go to glue service now. Because in S3, we have simply loaded a CSV file. We don't know that exactly how to access this file the way we access our normal relational database tables, right? So in Glue, we can catalog the data which is available in S3. So if we go into this section, data catalog, under databases, we can create a database. So I want to create a database with name products DB, right? This is what the folder I have created. and how we can map it under location. So let's say if I grab the location, so I'm grabbing the location of my data file here and I will tweak it. So under database settings here, so this products DB is actually pointing to which location in S3. So we will keep the path until our database folder only, okay? And make sure there is a slash after this. So this products DB is actually pointing to this location in my S3 bucket. So with this, we simply create the database. And now, I'm sorry.
Again, the screen is frozen.
My goodness. Let me do the same thing again. Stop and share again. So maybe question to Pubilan. Pubilan, have you experienced this issue with Zoho in past, or like it is first time we are seeing this?
I mean, only your AWS console is getting stuck. When you're navigating to Medium page, right? It's we are seeing your cursor and it's fine. But I think
okay. All right. So I hope you are able to see my glue table screen now.
We are seeing the draw IO screen.
Okay. Seems there is a lag then.
Lag, yeah.
Like now, are you able to see this table's screen?
Not yet.
Okay. Shall we use some other mechanism like Zoom or something so we don't get into these lagging issues?
Can you try once more? Like, can you again try to reshare it?
Okay. God knows where is my Zoho screen. Okay. How about now? Are you able to see the glue screen?
No, I'm seeing the Zoho Meet screen.
It's weird.
I mean,
shall I share the Zoom ID if everyone is comfortable? Would you like to join on Zoom?
in
In that case, yes, you will not be able to record this.
yeah, now we are able to see the tables.
Okay, then let's give it a go and we'll see if it is really needed. Okay, so we have created the database and next step we are creating this table. So I'm here into this table section of Glue and then simply add table. So I want to give products as my table name. And then tables can be created under a database only. So in our case, database is products DB. There it is. And then next we need to define the table format. So what kind of format our table is, whether it is like where is the source of my data? Is it in S3? If we are dealing with real-time data, so it can be Kinesis, or now AWS also support real-time streaming from Kafka. So these are the different sources available here. So in our case, it is S3 only. So in S3, at which path my table is there? So we will need to provide the path until the table location. Okay. So here.
DIPALI, are you changing it into S3 and AWS Glue? Because we see the page is stuck in AWS Glue.
So I'm on the Glue screen only, but at Glue, I'm defining the configurations. Are you not able to see?
We are not able to see DIPALI, sorry. It's in tables.
Okay.
Can we do like this? Like, can you create a Zoom? I will join. I will share. You can stay here. You can talk.
Sure, I can do that. Hold on. So the Zoom ID is 628-626-5282. Let me try to write it into the chat as well. But now I'm not finding where my Zoho screen gone.
It's the second time.
Yeah. So Zoom ID is 628-626-5282. So try to join here.